Hello and a very warm welcome to our special edition Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, the show where we bring you important unstart questions asked by the members of the upper house during the 250th session of the Rajya Sabha and the response given by the government. I'm Kriti Mishra and joining me is my colleague Rajat Kain.
Thanks for watching the edition of the show where we bring you all the latest from the Parliament House questions.
So Rajat, let's take our viewers through important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. And the first question in this edition of Question Hour is from member Rajkumar Dhoot, and this one pertains to the Ministry of External Affairs. And Mr. Dhoot has asked the government whether it has signed an agreement with government of Pakistan on Kartarpur corridor.
Well, answering, the government said agreements between the Government of Republic of India and Government of Islamic Republic of Pakistan for the facilitation of pilgrims to visit Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Kartarpur, Norowal district of Pakistan was signed on October 24, 2019 in order to fulfill the long-standing demand of the pilgrims to have an easy and smooth access to holy Gurdwara and to operationalize the corridor in time for 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. The agreement, inter alia, provides for visa-free travel of Indian pilgrims as well as overseas citizens of India, that's OCI card holders, from India to Holy Gurdwara Darbar Sahib, Kartarpur in Pakistan on daily basis throughout the year. The Government of India has consistently urged the Government of Pakistan that in deference to wishes of the pilgrim, it should not levy any fee or charge on the pilgrims who visit Gurdwara Darbar Sahib, Kartarpur through Kartarpur Sahib corridor. India remains ready to amend the agreement accordingly. Pakistan, however, continues to levy $20 on every pilgrim for each visit. To facilitate the visit of pilgrims, a state-of-art infrastructure, including a highway from town of Dera Baba Nanak to Zero Point and an integrated checkpost, have been built on the Indian side. The Kartarpur Sahib corridor was inaugurated on 9th November 2019. The next question was asked by member Abdul Wahab from Ministry of External Affairs, and he sought to know the number of countries where Indian passport holders can visit without pre-departure visa.
Well, the government has given all the details to this question, and the government goes on to say that visa-free state travel facility is offered by 16 countries. Visa on travel arrival facility is offered by 38 countries to India, and grant of visa as well as procedure for grant of visa is a sovereign right of the country concerned. Generally, countries designate specific entry or exit points for foreigners visiting their territories without proper visa or prior visa permission. The duration of visa on arrival or visa-free stay given to foreign national varies in the case of each country. Moving on to the next question that has been asked by member Jos K. Money, and this one is to the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And Mr. Money has asked the government whether data provided by Internet and Mobile Association of India confirms that 66 million Internet users in India are in the age bracket of 5 to 11 years.
Well, answering in affirmative, the ministry said the technological advancement in information and communication technology has brought in a lot of benefits in all walks of life, including for improvement in learning for children. However, like any other technology, the same can also be used by miscreants to lure children. Government has taken a number of steps to protect children from accessing inappropriate content online, and these include: government blocks the website containing extreme child sexual abuse material based on Interpol's worst of list shared periodically by Central Bureau of Investigation, which is the national nodal agency for Interpol. The list is shared with Department of Telecommunications, who then directs major ISPs to block such websites. Government asked major ISPs in India to adopt and disable or remove the online child sexual abuse material dynamically based on Internet Watch Foundation UK list. And Department of Telecom has communicated all ISPs requesting them to make suitable arrangements to spread awareness among their subscribers through emails, invoices, SMSs and websites about use of parental control filters in the end-use machines or devices. Well, the next question was asked by member Dharampuri Srinivas from Ministry of Human Resource Development, and he asked whether the government has initiated the Pradhan Mantri Innovative Learning Program or Dhruv recently. If so, what are the details thereunder?
Well, the government has given a very comprehensive reply to this question asked by the member, and the government goes on to say that it has recently launched Pradhan Mantri Innovative Learning Program, which is called as Dhruv, to mentor and nurture talented children to enrich their skills and knowledge so that they can realize their full potential and contribute to society. The program was launched on 10th of October 2019 at ISRO Bangalore with active participation of state governments. Selection of 30 students of Science Group and 30 students of Performing Arts Group has been made by an advisory committee headed by Principal Scientific Advisor in consultation with the Department of Science and Technology, Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog and National Council for Education Research and Training, the NCERT, Centre for Cultural Resources and Training, the CCRT, and Sangeet Natak Academy, Ministry of Culture. All the 60 students were selected from among the students selected under various competitions and examinations, which includes the National Talent Search Examination, the NTSE, Innovation in Science Pursuit for Inspired Research, which is called the INSPIRE, Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana, called the KVPY, Science Olympiad, Maths Olympiad, Kala Utsav and Cultural Talent Search Scholarship Scheme, etc. The program was conducted for 14 days. During the program, structured activities were carried out for students of Performing Arts Group at National Bal Bhavan, New Delhi, and for students of Science Group at IIT Delhi, and during evenings, combined activities of both groups were organized. These students were mentored and nurtured by renowned mentors from IIT Delhi, Atal Innovation Mission, NCERT and CCRT. Moving on to the next question, which pertains to the Ministry of Textiles, and this one has been asked by member MV Rajiv Gowda. And Mr. Gowda has asked the government about the number of jobs created under the scheme for integrated textile parks during the last 3 years.
Well, in the reply, the government said it's implementing the scheme for integrated textile parks, that is SITP, which provides support for creation of world-class infrastructure facilities for setting up of textile units. Government grant up to Rs 40 crore per park is released in installments subject to progress achieved in creation of infrastructure and common facilities. No specific norms have been prescribed for generation of employment under the guidelines. Generation of employment is monitored under the schemes to assess outcomes. The state-wise details of 22 completed textile parks under the scheme and employment generated during last 3 years are as under. Andhra Pradesh 19,137, Maharashtra 22,910, Gujarat 26,282, Rajasthan 570, Telangana 218, Tamil Nadu 9,995, Punjab 1,000 and Karnataka 2,000. Well, moving on, next question was asked by the member Vishambhar Prasad Nishad, and he asked from Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension that whether it's a fact that government is directly appointing experts in various ministries and departments through advertisements.
The answer is an affirmative, and the government goes on to say that it has from time to time appointed some prominent persons for specific assignments in government, keeping in view their specialized knowledge and expertise in the domain area. Based on the recommendations of Sectoral Group of Secretaries on Governance in its report submitted in February 2017 and a report of Niti Aayog regarding 3-year action agenda for 2017-18, 2019-20 and 2021, government has decided to undertake lateral recruitment of 10 joint secretaries in 10 ministries and departments. Now, the selection process was undertaken by Union Public Service Commission or the UPSC. Based on the recommendations of the UPSC and on acceptance of the terms and conditions of appointment, 8 candidates have been appointed as joint secretaries on deputation, including on short-term contract or contract basis. Department-wise and post-wise details of 8 joint secretaries are already in public domain, and reservation is not applicable for appointment to single post cadres. Category-wise data of all candidates appointed on lateral entry basis have not been maintained so far. Let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Manas Ranjan Bhunya, and this one is to the Department of Space. And Mr. Bhunya has asked the government about the details of the Chandrayaan mission for special moon mission.
Well, giving a detailed reply, the ministry said the objectives of Chandrayaan-2 mission were scientific studies through payloads on board the orbiter, technology demonstration of soft landing and roving on the lunar surface. The indigenously developed Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft comprising orbiter, lander and rover was successfully launched on board indigenous GSLV Mk3M1 mission on 22nd July 2019. After accomplishing 4 Earth-bound maneuvers and translunar injection, the spacecraft was successfully inserted into lunar orbit on 20th August 2019. A series of moon-bound maneuvers were then carried out to achieve lunar orbit of 119 into 127 km The lander Vikram was separated as planned from orbiter on 2nd September 2019 after two successful deorbiting maneuvers. Powered descent of lander was initiated on 7th September 2019 to achieve soft landing on the moon's surface. Well, the first phase of descent was performed nominally from the altitude of 30 kilometers to 7.4 kilometers above the moon's surface. The velocity was reduced from 1683 meters per second to 146 meters per second. Now, during the second phase of descent, the reduction in velocity was more than the designed value. Due to this deviation, the initial conditions at the start of the fine braking phase were beyond designed parameters. As a result, Vikram hard landed within 500 meters of the designated landing site.
So Rajat, these were the important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. But on the other side, we'll have Prashnakal in Hindi with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Please stay with Rajya Sabha Television.